Alright, here we are again. We are racing at Brands Hatch. We got the United Touring Championship. Oh, this is going to be bad. Of course, it just dumped out for qualifying. So yes, we are racing at Brands Hatch today. We have the full Grand Prix circuit. Do that. Okay, get here for qualifying because I don't want to get.
As we see here, we're coming into qualifying now, so this is really gonna, kind of give us
green flag, green flag
of how strong everybody's gonna be here. So let's go ahead and follow along
radio check.
Qualifying goes.
Yeah, we've got Dan Mould out on the track first. So this should be an interesting one. It is open qualifying, guys, as you can see. So all the cars will be on track. So it's trying to find a good space of where
pit lane speed limit is 45 miles per
as
hour.
we already see there, somebody behind.
I'm late.
It takes it to clear. Okay, Sean, we've got 14 minutes to settle up.
Yeah, Lewis running a little bit wide there. He has said he hasn't done much practice, so he's not expected to be up and around on the pace, so we'll just see what he's able to do and see how he gets on. But I think tonight it's going to be rather exciting. So
I feel like Brands Hatch is one of those tracks that just kind of starts coming to you the more further into your stint you get. It just kind of always felt that way for me. On cold tires, it's always tough to get around here, but once you start rubbering in the track and start getting into like a comfort zone, and it just kind of just comes to you. So hopefully that'll go his way.
Right.
But that's how I've always felt about this track. Is just the more time on track that I get in a race or in qualifying and practice, it just comes to me a little cleaner than some of the other tracks do. A little quicker, I would say.
yeah, I think that's got to be important as well. They've got to kind of give it time tonight, because if they don't, it's going to be a tough one for them. I think this race, this car setup, this whole process of driving these touring cars. Now, I don't know if you've ever been out in one of these.
Car feels
they
fine.
are not the most easiest car to drive.
Haven't taken time to work out the hopscotch on the front end.
Cars,
so.
But I wouldn't necessarily come out in this car unless I knew I could do it. You know what I mean? And I think you need to give these cars full amount of practice, because if you don't, you're going to really struggle. And I think these guys have really got to give it the amount of time that these cars deserve, I think, Michael, and that's what we're going to be looking for.
Yeah, these cars are definitely a challenge all unto themselves. You look at them and you think, front wheel drive, a Honda Civic, a Hyundai Veloster, the Audi, the RS3, we got what's the other Hyundai? Is it the Elantra? Yeah, you look at these cars and you think, front wheel drive, they're not going to be super fast, they're not going to be super challenging, yeah, whatever. And then you get into one and you realize how tough it really is to get around a track with these things. You really have to just kind of rewire your brain coming from if you're coming from something with open wheel or even a rear wheel drive sports car. GTs, it's just a completely different type of driving and completely different thought process. So definitely, like you said, it takes some time. You really got to put the practice in to get these cars not only down, but to get comfortable and get that nice flow.
Yeah, I think when you're a kid, my Saturday mornings was, like BTC day, watching the touring cars, and you're seeing them throwing them into the corner, you're seeing them door banging, you're seeing them giving a good old go, and you think, I could do that. And then you realize, actually, you can't. You can't just jump in the Audi and go and start becoming, one of the amazing drivers within the touring car series. It doesn't work like that with these cars. They need full practice.
Lap for Carvalho, 133.78.
I think that's so admirable from these guys, is the fact that how good they actually are currently in these cars. We see Carvalho go on the pole on 133.783. Absolutely barnstorming a lap from him. Adam Delmont is currently sitting in second place. But they're not just pick 'em up, drive, and there's no real easy car within this touring car set, is there? The Honda Civic's tricky, the Audi is tricky, the Hondas, both of them are tricky. You've got to give it time, and I think people don't quite understand that within this touring car series.
And I'll explain one thing here real quick. The Audi for me was the first touring car that I tried, just because I've kind of always just liked Audis. It just seemed like, you know, what am I going to pick? A Hyundai, a Honda, or an Audi? For me personally, I'm going the Audi. And then learning that
All right,
the
Sean,
Audi
10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes left.
Just kind of blew my mind a little bit. It just didn't handle the way I was expecting it to, because I was coming in, you know, completely cold, not understanding how these cars drive. And you think,
Sector 2 is 1.6 off the pace.
Just go out there and just throw it around the corner like you see on TV, like you see these guys here. They really are a challenge all into themselves. And, you know, just that experience, that first time stepping into an Audi, just throwing it around and just looking like an idiot doing it, like it was definitely a challenge.
Yeah.
Kudos to these guys.
Yeah, man, some of these drivers, you know, are TCA driven, and I think that's going to be the exciting thing, is to see Elliot Hankin get time to get into ninth spot. But 4, we're going to follow him to the end of the race. He's on at the moment. He's got 2 greens and a purple, 3 greens and a purple and a yellow. So hopefully he'll be able to move up the timing tower as well. Currently sitting in third on a 1:33.406. You know, these drivers are touring car driven, and I think that's what makes this amazing, is the fact that these guys do love what they do. You know, they do give it their full beans, they give it their full effort, they give it as much as they can in this car, but try and keep it as clean as possible. And I think that's admirable in its own right. You know, we don't hear much back from the stewards, we don't hear much back from the drivers. You know, they manage to sort it out between themselves. There's not a lot of backwards and forwards. And I think for a touring car league that lends itself,
the leader has just done a 1:33.71.
It's great to see, because you wouldn't see that in other series, you know what I mean? And I think that's an admirable fact that these guys at the United Touring Car Championship have built with them, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, this car really lends to door-to-door action, and not having to, you know, be as concerned with your incident count really helps. You know, kind of dig down and really get into the racing. Like that, when you told me that, I'm new to the series. When you told me that, that was the first thing I thought of. It's like, you know, I'm worried when I go out into an open lobby.
This will be fastest lap for Carvalho, 1:33.17.
You can bang around, but then you got to start worrying about your incident count. With these guys, they don't have to worry about that. So
2 tenths off the pace in sector 3.
Now throw it around and really get some action.
The leader has just done 1:32.58.
Don't take it easy. Anybody in chat who's watched this series and all take part in this season will know that they definitely do throw these cars around a bit, and have been into a few contacts as well. But as we see, Scott McFall going on to pole position on a 1:32.578. Mark Draper down in second now. Dan Mould in third. Mikael Lees in fourth. Nilton Carvalho in fifth.
Sector 1 is 0.33 off the pace.
Callum Garton in seventh. Lewis Archer eighth. Chris Byron ninth. And Derek Crowther is in 10th. We've got quite a good split of cars there, I think, as well, Michael. I think we haven't had a
fastest lap for
dominating
Draper,
car
1:32.57.
You know, Audi, Hyundai, Honda, they're all in the top 10. So it's good to see that we've got multiple manufacturers working here tonight.
No, you always love to see that. I do wish we could tell.
That's a new fastest lap for Garton, 1:32.12.
That's actually something that's very interesting to me.
Car in front lap time is at 1:34.38.
I know the Veloster is a little bit heavier than the. I don't know why I keep spacing on the Elantra.
Yeah.
Elantra. There we go. I don't know why I keep spacing on the Elantra, but I know the Veloster is a little bit heavier than the Elantra, so I would like to see the difference between the two. That's
Good
really
lap.
interesting.
That's your quickest today. You've just done a 1:34.04.
From what I've heard, it's actually a really fun car to drive. I don't have very much experience in the Honda, but I've heard it's a very fun car to drive. So that's really nice to see, you know, having that split up in the top, you know, 6 or 7 cars there. Just
Okay, Sean, you've got half your fuel left.
Yeah, well, I can give it a rough shout. Callum Garton is in the Elantra, and his teammate, Dan Mould, behind him is in the Veloster. So that's the Veloster with a back end chopped off. Yeah. And Callum Garton, who's now in pole on a 1:32.11. That's what the Elantra looks like. It's a longer with a boot, basically. So yeah, that would be
one's more of a hatch and one's more of a sedan.
Yeah, so basically the Veloster looks like the Honda Civic, The Elantra looks like the car completely on his own, so that's the way you can tell them apart. CRG, Callum Regatta now in first place. Currently we've got 2 purples on the board as well. He's now up into pace with 5:17 left of qualifying tonight.
Sector 2 is
Let's see
0.7
what they
off the
can
pace.
do. Callum Regatta,
5 minutes
obviously
remaining,
from the
5
Brake
minutes
Designs
left.
team, has joined Dan Mould this season, so this should be fun. Hopefully he'll be able to take part in the majority of what's left of the season. Now, talking about the season, we do go into next week, guys. We go to Monza on the 19th of 11th. We go to Monza that's for round 9 and 10. Then we're going to the North Circuit, the Red Bull Ring, on the 3rd of December. On the 17th of December, we go, on the 10th of December, we go to Phillip
Sector 3
Island, which
is
is round
0,
13 and 14.
4.8 off the
And
pace.
then round 15 and 16, we round out the season at Oran Park. So that's going to be extra exciting there as well. What we'll do briefly as well, towards the end of quali, we will bring you up the current standings. I can tell you now, we will bring them up for you so you can have a look at currently where everybody is, with 4 minutes 16 left of qualifying. Mark Draper is down in 3rd. Oh! Car off on the right hand side. I think that was car number 40. Jakey there is off the track. So in the Audi, new to the series this evening. So welcome into you, sir.
You're going to see quite a few off tracks today, that's for sure.
New
Especially here in turn 1.
Garton on
You're going to see so many
31.84.
cars kind of losing it through there. It's so easy. You know, you lose, you come up over that hill. It's kind of a blind hill. Everybody knows what's coming, but it's still, you have to really be careful with picking your apex because it is a blind turn. So then you got a car shooting off the inside there. So it's either
Track temperature is increasing. It's now 88 Fahrenheit.
Something weird like that happens where you just kind of all of a sudden get a bunch of grip and it just shoots you to the inside wall.
Yeah, that was Callum Regatta who just set pole lap on a 1:31.843. Then
That's your
goes
quickest
off
lap
the
in this
Panagia,
session.
which is what we said could
Sector
be
3 is
one of the
0.6
issues
off
there.
the pace.
Nobody's really improving currently at the moment. Lewis Archer here has got a green sector 4.
Okay, Sean, 5 minutes of fuel remaining.
Let's see
5
what he
minutes.
can do in sector 5 and 6. Luke Mitchell as well. Currently green across the board. Mr. Archer's yellow in the sector 5. Pick up on Luke Mitchell is not actually that too far behind him. Is there an improvement from Mr. Archer? The 1:33.557.
Sector 1
at
is
the moment.
1.6 off the
Luke
pace.
Mitchell. Let's see what Luke can do.
A little bit in the second half here. These
Yeah.
first 3 sectors were definitely fast, but the second, the 4th and 5th, we'll see about the 6th there. Green in the 6th. That's going to be a 1:35.91 for Luke there.
That's 2 minutes left. 2 minutes.
Nearly did him out. He managed just about keep it out of the barrier.
I was listening to Jimi Hendrix the other day, and I forgot how much I love the song Cass's website.
You and your Jimi Hendrix.
I love Jimi.
Yeah, it's quality.
He's a beast.
Danny Bleak, Monza, I am back, says Danny. So it'd be good to have you on track there, buddy. I remember watching an interview with Jimi Hendrix, and the guy
one
doing
gallon
the interview
left.
asked him if he was rich. Not once did Jimmy disclose if he was rich. He turned it into
Sector 3 is
what makes you
0.6
rich.
off the
If
pace.
you're happy, then I'm rich. That was it. That was literally the interview. So fair play to Jimi Hendrix there. Absolutely amazing. Right, no real improvements currently on the board. We got 1:12 left. So we'll see how this one pans out for the last minute there with Chris Byram. Currently on board with Chris. See how he gets on. Would you run a touring car at Brands Hatch, Michael?
I think I'd give it a go. I think that'd be pretty fun. I don't think I'd be very fast. I'd probably be in the 140s if these guys are in the 132s. Yeah, I'd probably be in the 140s, but yeah, no, I would definitely give it a go here. But it's just a track that I really love the flow of, so I I think I kind of reach Brands Hatch whenever it kind of crosses the opportunity. It's just one of those tracks that it just like, to me, it's just got a nice flow to it. Even though everything's off camber and over the blind hill, it's still, once you get the rhythm, it's a very...
That's the end of the session, V14.
Yeah, absolutely. So we will have a quick look at the standings, guys, as coming to the end of qualifying. No current real improvements now in the championship. Olivier Boltneck is leading the way on 110. Scott McFall is currently in second place. Dan Mould third. Stuart Reynolds fourth. Chris Byron fifth. Nilton Cavallio sixth. Lewis Archer seventh. Mark Draper eighth. Dominic Herbert ninth. And Callum Regarton is your top 10. Now in the Constructors' Championship, we've got Sim District Vibe Esports of 208. Blinders.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Just to remind the newcomers that there is no mandatory pit stop during this race. However, in the feature race after this, everyone must drive through the pit lane at least once. Good luck. Have a good race, everybody.
Good luck.
Cool.
Obviously, guys, just mind the lower grip levels, the fact that it's 40 degrees, bit of understeer on the opening few laps.
Oh yeah, track's hot.
She's a bit spicy, boys.
The track temp is 102. The air temp is 67 Fahrenheit. Okay, Sean, nice and neat. Stay out of trouble. Go, go, go.
Car right. Clear right. On your left. Still there. Hold your line. Still there. Clear left. Left side. Hold your line. Still there. Hold your line. Hold your line. Hold your line. Hold your line. Clear left.
There's an incident
Somebody
in
speared off.
Sterling's Bend.
On your right. Still there. Still there. Clear right.
I'm sorry, but I got hit.
I don't know who that was that died.
Right side. Clear right.
Incident in Surtees.
Left side. Still there. Hold your line. Clear left.
The leader has just done a 1:33.04.
Car right. Clear right.
Sorry.
On your right. Clear right. Right side. Clear right. On your right. Clear right. Car left. Hold your line. Hold your line. Still there. Hold your line. Still there. Hold your line. Hold your line. Hold your line. Clear left.
That's 20 minutes to go.
Car left. Clear left.
Okay, Sean, gone out of track limits. Keep it between the lines. Fastest lap for Garton, 1:32.61. There's an incident in Druids. We think it might be Thomas.
There's a lot of runoff I can use out there. I just gotta go out and get it.
New fastest lap for Garton, 1:32.19. That's the fastest lap. That lap was at 1:34.87.
your left. Clear left.
Well, that's that for that race. This car's fucked. Yep.
We'll need to pit for repairs. We've had the meatball flag.
Ay, ay, ay.
Not this one. Where am I going? I want this one.
You see the inside car there get a little loose. Jakey GB goes to the outside.
Oh, net
Sean
code.
Roberts just gets spun.
All right, Sean, 15 minutes left. That's 15 minutes.
There as well, I think, played a part with Adam McNally. Net code was Sean Roberts, wasn't it? The cars kind of lurched together and then joined up. And unfortunately, that's put them into the pits. But here is the man himself, currently leading the way. Callum Regarden out in front from Blade Designs there as well, leading us off. Dan Mold in second. Mark Draper in third, and then we got the Vibe boys of Neil Carvalho and Scott McFall. No Olivier Boltonek here tonight, so that's going to be a tough one for him as well, leading the championship. Adam Dalmont from Excite behind him, Lewis Archer, Ivan Baukamp, then Chris Byram, Laura Ubasek as well. Mikael Lees, you can see the cars are a little bit more spread out, apart from Neil Carvalho being chased down by Scott McFall there. And a little over just 6 laps remaining here, Michael. You know, Sean Roberts in the pits, Daniel Thomas, Derek Crowver, Luke Mitchell, Scott Gibbons, Stuart Gibbons, sorry. So we got them in the pits, right? That's fair enough. Now, some of it looks like off tracks going in, and like as we saw with Sean Roberts there, a massive dose of net code. But the rest of everybody else has managed to keep it clean so far. I think that's the thing, isn't it? We've got 14 runners still on track. We've got McFall pushing Carvalho, so the racing's still there from these guys. It's just a shame that we've lost the ones we have
Looks
already.
like we've had, for the most part, a pretty
Oh,
clean race
sorry,
here. That's
Michael
a
McFall,
great
yeah.
move there.
McFall's gone up the inside. That was round Westfield. Brave move from Scott McFall.
Yeah, that was definitely a great move there. Perfect opportunity, perfect timing. Just made it work for him. Scott McFall up into 4th place here. Not really surprised there. That was a solid pass. Perfect time. I do want to point out Mikael Lees was the big gainer out of that big incident just moments ago. Now up into 11th place, wasn't 14th right before that all happened. So Mikael Lees starting to really work their way back up through the field. Lewis Archer really worked their way back up through the field. Lewis Archer and
that didn't work too well.
Baukamp both up 5 positions in 7th and 8th place. So those poor starts that they had there, poor qualifying efforts, definitely
Jim's gonna be
making up
mad
for
at
them
me.
here in the sprint race.
Absolutely as well. I know Lewis was a bit worried about this circuit. Hadn't had much time for practice between running the league and obviously IRL, and you know, life generally has been a bit manic for Mr. Archer lately as well, and he's done a stellar job with putting this season together, and you know, him and Chris have worked really hard, and this is what we've got at the moment, quality racing. And he did say he would struggle, but I think for the climb that he's gone up 5 from 12 to 7, it's just testament to how good he is in the car in general, isn't it?
Yeah, he seems like he's very comfortable with that car.
Okay,
like I was
Sean,
saying
halfway
earlier,
home.
this is a
We've got
track that
plenty of
really
fuel.
starts to come to you the further on your stint you go, especially as it gets running. It just becomes, you get in that flow and it just becomes a little more natural. He is under a little bit of pressure here by Ivan, but that being said, he looks very comfortable, and I think this has been a great first race here, especially since he hasn't gotten
Absolutely, it'll be interesting to see, because obviously he will move positions
Fastest lap
for
for
the feature.
Garton,
What he will be able
132
to do
and
there, I
1-1.
think is going to be an exciting one to watch Lewis Archer and see whether or not he can improve as the time goes on and as the race runs. We've still got 4 laps, and we've got Reed Garton doing the fastest lap of the race currently as well, 132, 112. Well, Reed Garton's kind of flying at the moment, but I kind of expected that and mentioned that at the beginning. I think he was naturally quick, and I think anybody's going to be tough to try and get past him.
Yeah, his fastest lap is a 132.11, which he had just done. That is half a second faster than Dave Scholl, who's got a 132.57. So yeah, he's definitely got the pace to just be absolutely running away this right now. Great pickup for that team to bring him in here. And he's obviously very comfortable with the car and getting ready to really show himself, make a name for himself here at the end of the season, but really come in end strong and start next season.
I can't protest. That was just a shitty.
That's what we're going to be looking at here. I think
shitty
as
position.
well. Callum, regardless, is not going to do his championship any harm whatsoever.
Keep the points clean.
Lewis Archer now here with Ivan Balkamp in front of him. So let's see how this one pans out. I think this is going to be a very exciting race here. So
10 minutes to
let's
go.
see.
That's
We've
10 minutes left.
Lewis
New
Archer
fastest
and
lap
Chris
for
Byron, what they can do.
1:32.10.
Cuda Evo. Oh, Balkamp's off. Balkamp's off. Here comes Archer. Regard again. Another fast lap. 1:32, 1:04 as we're on the line. Literally 3 laps remaining, Michael. Chris Byram's just cleared Ivan Balkamp as well. He's now running Lewis Archer around the outside. Oh, the Cuda boys giving us a battle here.
Yeah, just taking advantage of the inside there. Yeah, just able to hold it. That was a very, very, very brave move there, but able to hold it on the inside. Gonna take care of that. That's gonna move him up into 7th place. Ivan Balkamp into 6th place, or into 8th place now. And it looks Archer's trying to make the move, but he had to back out of that.
Looked like he was going to really, if he carried on following that through, his nose would have gone, and I think that's the problem there for Lewis Archer. You can't push the situation when the door's closing, because there's only one thing that will happen there as well, and that will be your nose will be gone. And you don't really want that either this evening. So Lewis Archer here. This is one of your closest battles on track. The other is Adam McNally and Jakey here. These guys are literally 0.4 second back. They're the same as the battle in front at the moment as well. So let's see what McNally can do from the Excite team here as he's coming down.
We've seen that Audi very strong down the straights there, but the Honda Civic very strong in the corners through the twisty bits. So we'll see how it goes through here. It looks like he's starting to really gain some momentum here, and he might be able to make a pass.
Yeah, it's heading down through Dingledale drop now, up into the Dingledale corner. Blind right-hander up over the hill we go. Oh, McNally, get it on the track. You're not going to stop it. Oh. And that put the end to that, didn't it, really? As soon as you run wide in that corner, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you put a tire out on the outside, you have to back off completely, you have to recenter yourself. Coming into Sterling's, he kind of regrouped, so he's definitely lost quite a bit of momentum, but he's still within a second. He might be able to get back. We got 2 more laps.
Much as I hate the fact that I got taken out like that, I did get points. That's
trying to take it through the inside. He's
net
able to get
positive.
it through the hairpin. Is he able to hold on to it, though?
But I'd rather be out there racing door to door with these guys.
Tightened up Graham Hill, and I thought that was going to be a nose to rear it there from Ubasek. These guys are go racing round now. Chris Byron, Ivan Balkamp. Let's see what these guys can do. This is a view from Balkamp's car on the inside. That's Byron in front of us as we're coming around Hawthorne here, Michael, and then through Westfield and into that drop, aren't we?
This is definitely the most technical part of the track, just because you lose so much grip here. You just fall off the hill, literally fall off the hill. You come up the hill, you can grab your grip back, everything's fine, and all of a sudden you through a blind corner, and it just flattens out. It's so easy to dip a tire on the outside there, and you hard on the brakes to get through here into Sterling's, and then you're just flat out, and then it's just another off-cambered turn here. You go down into a little dip into Clark here. Clark, it starts on camber, then it drops off camber, then it's back on camber, then it's on camber throughout here, and it just kind of drops off, and it's just, it's not just elevation change that's the issue with this track, that's the challenge. It's the elevation change with the off camber, with the on camber, changing in the middle of the turns, and then you throw in the blind turn. Coming up into the hairpin here, you have to know where your braking point is, because you can't see the hairpin until you're in the hairpin.
Yeah, I think that's one of the tough bits with this circuit. Is the blind situation. I think that's that's the challenge, isn't it, really? The blind curves and stuff like that. SRL, I can't believe there's so many Hondas. I find it to be the worst of all the cars. Well, Adam Delbon, Chris Byram, Ivan Balkamp, Lewis Archer, Laura Ubasek, and Anna McNally. And everybody beyond that, Leah Hankins, Sean Roberts, Daniel Thomas, Luke Mitchell, and Scott Gibbons seem to like it. So I'm not entirely sure.
You fastest lap for Carlton, 132.03.
Because these guys seem to give it a good old
Wait for the ripping from Jim.
Seem to like the car itself. So there you
I don't know
go.
how Jim can rip on me. It's not my fault.
The race for Callum Regarten. There is Callum Regarten now. Final lap of the race here tonight.
Okay, Sean. 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes left.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but absolute dominance here in the sprint
Oh,
race
yeah,
by
still.
Callum Regarden. I'd also like to ask the chat out there, especially you, SRL TV, what if not the Honda car would you prefer? We got 4 choices here. Obviously, the 2 Hyundai, the Elantra, and the Veloster. I finally didn't forget the Elantra that time. And then you got the Audi RS 3, and then the Honda Civic. Which of those 4 cars, which would you pick? I think for me, my first choice was the Audi. It was a bit of a head scratcher from what I was expecting it to be. So that was my first choice. I'm not sure what I would pick right now, though.
No, I like the look of the Civic, right? When I was growing up, the Civic was the car I probably wanted to own as a kid. Along with a Peugeot 205 GTI, mind you. But, you know, the Civic would have been the car I would have chose. But I've heard it's a bit up and down on the handful situation. So, you know, I'm not entirely sure whether or not the Civic would be best. But we're going to pick up our leader, Callum Regarden, is going to go across the line in the sprint race. We'll start the feature at the back. And Callum Regarden there takes the victory. Take a bow, young man. From Blade Designs, Dan Mould in second. Mark Draper in
2 minutes to
third.
go. 2 minutes.
He takes the third place. Scott McFall comes across the line in fourth. Neil Carvalho in fifth. Adam Delmont in sixth. And then Chris Byram there. Coming across the line in seventh, Byram Balkamp behind him. Out Lewis Archer has got Miguel Lees for company as these guys come across the line. Laura Ubasek comes across the line as well, Adam McNally. And then your final runner is Jakey there. So Callum Regarden down
Check the flag, P5.
And then in third place is Mark Draper. So fair play to them ones as we go into a little bit of a warm-up. Well, your answers in chat. What would you take? The Hyundai Veloster has better turning, but Elantra takes the curbs like a champ. Go Team Blade Designs. Yep, says Craig Waters. So there we go. We will bring you up the results now. This is the results of the first sprint race here this evening.
Your exit looks clear. Stay behind the line.
Is in first place. Dan Mould in second. Mark Draper third. Scott McFall in fourth. Little Cavalier fifth. Adam Dalmont sixth. Chris Byram seventh. Ivan Balkamp eighth. Lewis Archer ninth. Mikael Lees 10th. Laura Ubasek 11th. Alan McNally 12th. Jakey GB down in 13th. Elliot Hankin 14th. Sean Roberts 15th. Daniel Thomas 16th. Derek Crowber in
Track temperature's
17th
decreasing.
place.
It's now 74 Fahrenheit.
We've got Luke Mitchell down 13 there as well, unfortunately for him, but was involved in a bit of an incident at the beginning, and then that chopped him down the field. So, what would you choose, Michael?
You know, you're saying that the Veloster's got quite a bit of better turn-in, and the Elantra takes the curves like a champ. Well, the one thing about this track is there are curves, but not anything you really need to worry about. So I would probably, if I had to choose, I guess I would give the Veloster an opportunity to run here for its money, just to give it a go. I think I'm going to stay away from the Honda just because we've seen the Honda doesn't have quite the grunt down the straight. The Audi, like I said, I just, for me, I like the Audi. It's kind of a mind scratcher for me, just like because I just can't get over the fact that it's not all-wheel drive for whatever reason. So I guess I would have to go with the Veloster. being that it has great turning according to SRL TV. So there you go. I'd go with the Veloster.
Okay. Fair play.
What about you?
I'd love to go with the
Box in,
Civic,
5.
but I've heard it's a bit of a pain
4.
to try and drive.
Yeah.
So maybe the Elantra might be a little bit heavier for me. But so maybe the Elantra, I think I'd like to go with.
All about the family sedan. I like it.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah, that was.
I've got, you know,
There we go.
I've got kids, so I've got to put them in the back of the car somehow.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I don't have to worry
Sorry
about
about that, just
I've
making sure
got
about something
the
I
wife
kind
and
of-
the dog to worry about. So
Yeah,
I
well,
don't
that's
have those parental issues.
right. That's why you pick the Veloster, haven't you? Because you know you don't need much room. Where me, I've got to try and get the 5 seats in. You know what I mean? So they've got to make the use of them. So,
Yeah, for me, I'll just take the back seat out and turn it into a giant bed for my dog.
well, there you go.
Just let him
You,
in the hatch, make it nice and easy.
yeah, you don't even need the back seat, where some of us
Yeah.
do. You know what I mean? I've got to I've got,
Yeah, no,
got to put the kids somewhere, mate. Apparently, it's illegal if you lock them in a boot.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you could always tie him to the roof. I'm not sure if that's.
Disengage limiter. The exit's clear. Don't cross
Here in
the
the
white
States,
line.
they just throw them in the bed of the trucks, so I don't know if they do that out in the UK.
No, partly because we don't see many cars, with many trucks with the back beds on it. I think you know. So
That's a shame. That's a
yeah.
shame. Trucks are awesome.
Yeah, mate, I'd love to own a truck myself, but you know they're crazy prices over here in the UK. So unfortunately, that's never likely to happen. And as I say, unless I'm going to put the kids somewhere, which would be in the back of the truck, that would be fine. But you know, I think at the end of the day, we're now going to be in a situation where Mould, Reed Garton are now going to be coming through the field because they're going to be at the back, aren't they?
Yeah, all three of those guys that won that race there, they're all extremely fast. Just the Blade Designs team itself is absolutely dominating that first sprint race. I find it very hard to believe that they're going to be staying in the back of the field for too long, but that's going to bring about quite a bit of interruption and a little bit of confusion here throughout the field. You see some of these faster cars trying to make their way back up through the field. Some of the cars that didn't do so well in the first race. But that being said, a lot of the cars that are restarting up front really didn't run very long in the sprint race, so we don't have quite the perception or quite the idea of what their true race pace is, because a lot of those incidents happen very early on in the race.
Look out for the pit speed limit.
You know, we're going to
Just
see
speed limit
how
in
they
pits.
get on. They're going to have to go some, I think.
Box
I
in,
think that
5,
the last thing we
4,
really need to see is,
3,
you know, they've
2,
got to get away because
Box
Karen
down.
is going to be coming through, and Mould is another one that's going to be there.
His exit's clear.
And he's going to be wanting to make moves as well. So they've got a lot to kind of contend with here, I think, with these guys coming through. And it's going to be an interesting one to see how these guys
Absolute fastest lap for Gibbons.
issue.
134.86.
4:37 of warm-up. So how many reverse? Full reverse. Full reverse. It's always been a full reverse, and there probably will continue to be a full reverse as well. Always a full reverse.
That's awesome. It's really going to throw a lot of strategy to the wind here. Another thing that you were pointing out, there's a mandatory drive-through, not a pit stop, a drive-through. So when you are sitting in the back of the pack and you know you have pace, I almost wonder as they try drifting around this track here, just kind of showing everything off here. Jealous, I want to go drifting.
Yeah, it's Lewis Archer there in the Honda.
And it's kind of funny. You don't really see too many people, drifting front-wheel drive cars. You really got to rip that e-brake, but it's not as easy to do.
Just quick
as a
note to the
real
grid.
drag car is.
When you're doing your mandatory pit on the feature race to come, you do not have to stop in your spot, you do not have to stop the tyres on fuel, but be aware when you're entering the pit lane not to touch any of the green painted sections, because it will just give you a time penalty, as it'll assume you skip the pit lane.
We know we got some fast cars in the back of the pack here.
Yeah, I'll take a reverse grid. I love a good reverse.
What's your speed?
Yeah, it is a full reverse, so full reverse grid. So
Box
you're
in,
watching
5,
them slice
4,
through the field
3,
with 3:13
2,
left on the
1.
clock.
So just to
Now,
confirm, you can drive straight through into the pit lane, a straight line, but yeah, just don't touch any of the green paint on the floor.
All clear on pit exit.
Yeah, in for an absolute cracker. Absolute cracker of
Yeah.
a race.
I definitely think that's the case. Now, in reverse grids defenses, if it wasn't for reverse grids, I'd never see the front row. So
It is true.
I love them. I love them. I need them.
You and me both, buddy. You and me both. That's why I'm in the. That's why I'm in the box, mate. Trust me. I literally managed to get out and drive. And do you know what car I was driving as well?
And I know you like the SR8. That's what you like, right?
I
You've been
like
doing the SR10.
Yeah, but we recently finished a series, and let's just say I was driving around 90 laps in an Xfinity Camaro.
Really?
Yeah, that's literally all I've done last week when I did get the brief opportunity to drive, which was basically in the brief hours of the morning because my daughter was sick and she was just chilling out on the sofa and half asleep. Dad had a little bit of a drive and I was doing the Xfinity Camaro.
Apparently NASCAR is really trying to reach out to the European market.
I enjoyed it.
They're trying to follow the NFL's footsteps. The NFL has a game, American football game in Munich tomorrow. It's the first time. Which they say it's the first time the NFL's been to Germany, but wasn't there the NFL Europe?
There
What's your
wasn't
speed?
an NFL European League. It went down like
Yeah,
a
that's
sack.
where current
Box in.
Yeah,
5,
it went down like a sack of
4,
potatoes. It wasn't the
3,
most popular thing in the world.
2, 1.
But
Box now.
no, but since they're holding games at Wembley and at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, they've
Exit
become a
looks
lot more
clear.
bigger over here in the UK. So, you know, it is getting there, but I don't think we'll ever have our own series. However, the other week, I was driving down by Bournemouth, and there was an American football game going on. So that was quite interesting, yeah.
So it wasn't rugby, it was actually football.
No, it was American football, yeah, full pads, everything. I did check.
That's interesting, because the big thing is, you know, in Europe, like here in the United States, the way that, you know, it kind of works its way up from the high school level to the college level to the NFL, where in Europe you don't really have that the same way that you do here in the United States as far as sports, academic sports go.
Dude, you just painted a target on your door. I had to do it.
Some sort of minor league to kind of fill in for
Called into the pits for
NFL.
repairs.
You know, it just would be completely different. I know, like, you know, for football, like European football, soccer. I know you have like the millions and millions of different leagues that feed into each other, and like I have no idea. Whenever I look at it, I'm so confused as an American. But like I know, like this league, you win so many games, and then you move up to this league, and then you move up to this league, and then you fall back, and you lose. Like you don't really have that here in the States. So it'd be quite different. I just think, you know, just the
That's the end of the
mentality
session.
of
P5.
starting something like that.
I'm gonna shut these guys down. I got my features set up on the car.
Good luck, guys.
The track temp is 72. The air temp is 67 Fahrenheit for 32 minutes. Get ready. Go.
Car left.
Oh, my
Middle
screen
there.
did something really weird there for a sec.
Hold your line. Hold your line. Clear left.
How I did not hit anyone there was a miracle. Run away!
right, clear right.
Well done, Sean. Good start.
How I was not involved in that. Definitely making that pit stop now.
Sorry, man.
Look out for the pit speed limit. The pit lane speed limit is 45 miles per hour. Box in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Box now. There's a car approaching. Stay behind the line. The leader has just done 135 and 35. There's an incident in Paddock Hill. The car in front has just posted a 134.18. Just done a 133 by take 3.
Right side, clear right. On your right. Clear right.
That's a new fastest lap for Draper, 133.21. Good lap, that's your best in the session. Sector 3 is 1.7 off the pace.
side. Hold your line. Still there. Clear right.
Come on, Sean. Don't panic. We'll get him back. New fastest lap for Garton, 132.41. The lap time was at 135.37. The guy behind has just done a 132.72.
Sorry, Lewis.
All good, mate.
Little bit of door banging.
There's an incident in Clearways. Looks like it's Gibbons. Fastest lap for Garton, 131.92.
On your right. Hold your line. Clear right.
Come on, mate, defend your position. Okay, Sean, the next car is Mole. That lap time was 134.48. Garton is now leading. That last lap was at 1:33.75. Alright Sean, come on, stay focused. Apexes and exits, apexes and exits. That's 20 minutes to go. Fastest lap for Garton, 1:31.71.
Left side. Still there. Still there. Hold your line. Hold your line. Hold your line. Clear left.
That's half fuel. You've used half your fuel.
On your left. Still there. Hold your line. Still there. Clear left.
Okay, Sean, we're halfway through. We think about 30 minutes of fuel remaining.
Car right. Hold your line. Hold your line. Clear right.
Come on, don't let him get away. Remaining, 15 minutes to go. Relax, focus, keep it smooth. That's a new fastest lap for Garton, 1:31.46. That was 1:34.07. Alright Sean, 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
Right side. Clear right.
That was 1:34.02. Sector 2 is 1.2 off the pace. minutes. Draper. Okay, Sean, 10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes left.
Don't be wiping me out, dude. What? I'm saying don't be wiping me out.
You're a second off the pace in Sector 1. Sector 2
Don't worry,
is
I'm just there
0.3
behind.
seconds off the pace. Sector 3 is 0.6 off the pace. Good consistency. Keep them coming.
Oh, that hurt. So as long as I don't brick the car, I got a solid top 10 out of this.
Of fuel remaining, 5 minutes. New fastest lap for Garton, 1:31.37. One more to go. accident in Paddock Hill. It looks like Mitchell, just 2 minutes left, 2 minutes to go.
Whew, I will take that.
8th place. Okay, it's over.
Jim, you sound so down on yourself. I will take that, considering what happened here in Druids. Yeah, I'm gonna have to see that that opening lap in Druids. Oh man.
Watch your speed limit in the pits. Box in 5, 4, 3.
Oh, see, I was about to shut that off because I wasn't gonna even stand dealing with that. All right, let's get to that opening lap. Let's get to the chase. Oh my god! Oh man. How did I get through without? I didn't even get a contact penalty for that. Oh, wait, maybe I did. No, that was after. Ah! That's funny. Lou, I got a 0x in that opening incident, considering I was in the middle of it. Hi, Maggie. Oh, that was fun. That's funny. Oh my god. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. All right. I think I can close this out now. That was a fun feature. I'll say that much. That was my best finish of the season so far. I actually have all the races I've done with this group, so we'll take that and we'll keep going. We got Monza next week without the first chicane, so that's gonna be an interesting race. Anyway, take care.